Imagine for a second that you are hiding under your parents' bed. Your heart is pounding against your ribs like a hammer. You have a kitchen knife gripped tight in your sweaty hand. You are waiting for your father to fall asleep, and you know that the moment he closes his eyes, you are going to change the family forever. Now, take that fear and scale it up, way up. Cronus isn't hiding in a bedroom. He is hiding inside the crust of the earth. He is crouching in the tectonic plates, waiting for the right moment. And the weapon? It's not steel. It is a sickle made of adamant, a jagged gray flint that is the sharpest, hardest substance in the entire universe. This isn't a metaphor. This is the night the sky falls down, and it is going to get messy. If you missed the last episode, here's the quick recap you need to understand the crime scene. Uranus, the sky god, became the first true tyrant in history. He was obsessed with perfection. He hated his own children because they were ugly and monstrous. But he didn't just banish them to a faraway land. He shoved them back inside the womb of his wife, Gaia, the Earth. This caused Gaia physically agonizing pain. She was carrying full-grown giants inside her earth crust, and she couldn't take it anymore. She created the weapon, and she begged her beautiful Titan sons to help her. They all said no. They were terrified of the sky, except for one, Cronus, the youngest, the hungriest. He looked at the weapon, and he looked at the throne, and he realized they were the same thing. He took the mission. The goal of today's episode is simple. Commit the first crime in existence. Kill the king. Take the crown. Let's see how he pulls it off. The plan relies on one specific weakness: arrogance. Uranus is the king of the universe. It never even occurs to him that someone would fight back. He thinks he owns the furniture. He descends from the heavens to sleep with Gaia, just like he does every night. He spreads his misty clouds over the mountains and valleys, wrapping the earth in a blanket of night. He is completely relaxed. He has no armor, no shield, no guards. He thinks he is safe in his wife's arms. He thinks his victims are helpless. But Cronus is there. He is crouching in a fissure of the earth, holding his breath. His hand is sweating on the handle of the adamant sickle. He waits. One breath. The sky settles. 2 breaths. The sky closes its eyes. Now. Cronus bursts out of the ground. With his left hand, he grabs his father. With his right hand, he swings the sickle. It isn't a fight. It is an execution. One clean, jagged cut. He castrates the sky god. Uranus screams. It is a sound that cracks glaciers and shakes the foundations of the world. In his pain and shame, he pulls away, retreating up into the atmosphere. He flees so high that he never comes back down. That is why the sky never touches the earth anymore. They are divorced by blood. The king is gone, but the consequences are just starting. You cannot stab the sky without making a mess. Blood pours from the wound. Gallons of divine ichor rain down on the earth. Now normal blood just dries up and disappears. But this is the blood of a primordial god. It is full of life and raw power. It hits the ground. It soaks into Gaia, and horrifyingly, the earth gets pregnant again. But she doesn't give birth to babies. She gives birth to consequences. From the blood-soaked soil, the araignées rise up. You probably know them as the Furies. Let me tell you how scary these things are. In ancient Greece, people were actually afraid to say their names out loud. They called them the kindly ones, just to avoid getting their attention, because if they looked at you, you were done. They rise from the mud with the heads of dogs, snakes for hair, and wings like bats. Their eyes drip poisonous blood. They are the universe's karma police. Their job is very specific. They hunt down children who kill their parents. Do you see the problem? Cronus just killed his father. The Furies are born from that exact murder. Cronus didn't just win a war. He created the very detectives that will hunt him down. They are born with his name on their lips, and they are looking right at him. But wait, what happened to the part that Cronus cut off? He threw it over his shoulder. It flew across the map of Greece and landed in the dark, churning sea. It floats there, drifting. The salt water mixes with the divine flesh. It starts to churn. White, thick sea foam begins to bubble up around it. It spreads for miles, glowing with a strange, ethereal light. And from the center of that foam, a figure stands up. She walks onto the shore of Cyprus. The water glows pink and gold. Flowers bloom where she steps. She is perfect. She is breathtaking. She is undeniable. This is Aphrodite, the goddess of love, the goddess of beauty. Here is a little fact check for you. Her name, Aphrodite, literally comes from the Greek word aphros, which means foam. She is the lady of the foam. This is the greatest irony in all of mythology. Think about it. The most violent, ugly, grotesque act in history. A son castrating his father created the most beautiful thing in the universe. Love was born from pain. Beauty was born from violence. In Greek mythology, these two things are always connected. You cannot have one without the other. So the dust settles. Uranus is gone. The Furies are roaming the earth. Aphrodite is walking on the beach. And Cronus? Cronus is king. He sits on the throne of the cosmos. He has everything he wanted. But he isn't happy. He is terrified. Why? Because of the cycle of succession. As Uranus fled into the sky, he shouted a curse at his son, a prophecy that would haunt him forever. He said, "You have betrayed your father. One day, your children will betray you." This sentence breaks Cronus's brain. He realizes that by killing the king, he proved that kings can be killed. He proved that sons can overthrow fathers. He starts to think like a politician, not a hero. Remember why he did this? He promised his mother Gaia that he would free his brothers, the monsters, from their prison. That was the whole deal. But now that he is in charge, he hesitates. He looks at the prison pit. He sees the 100-handed ones. He sees the Cyclopes. And he thinks, if I let them out, they are powerful enough to kill me. So what does he do? He says, nah. He leaves them in the pit. He betrays his mother. Quick question. If you were Cronus, knowing a prophecy said your family would kill you, would you have freed the monsters or kept them locked up? Let me know in the comments. By making this choice, Cronus teaches us the key lesson of this episode. Oppression creates monsters. Uranus was a monster, so he created Cronus. Now, Cronus is acting like a monster, so he is going to create something even worse. He validates the curse. He marries his sister Rhea to secure his bloodline. She gets pregnant instantly. Cronus stares at her growing belly. He doesn't see a son. He sees an assassin. The prophecy is ringing in his ears like a tinnitus he can't cure. Your child will kill you. Your child will kill you. Cronus decides he cannot take the risk. He comes up with a solution, a final solution. Rhea gives birth to a beautiful baby girl named Hestia. She wraps the baby in a soft blanket. She hands the baby to Cronus, expecting a fatherly hug. She expects him to smile. Cronus holds the baby. He looks at her tiny face. And then, he opens his mouth. He doesn't just kill her. He swallows her whole. Next time, the king becomes a cannibal. 5 children go down the hatch. You won't just see him eat them. You will hear the crunch. You will feel the madness of a god who tries to eat the future to save his own past. But one mother has had enough. She grabs a stone and prepares the trick that will save the universe. Subscribe now. You do not want to miss the birth of Zeus.